Oh my god, pasta's are 50% off. What a deal. No, that's the deal. Would you look at that? Dude, she's hungry. Let's go ask her to lunch.
Where to eat? Hey Sam, where do you want to eat? Sam, how about that place? That too easy to walk.
Hi there. I know a place to go. Goodbye. How about McDonald's? McDonald's. Cheesecake Factory. McDonald's. Cheesecake Factory. Cheesecake Factory. McDonald's. Cheesecake Factory. McDonald's. Girl's coming with me. Yeah. No, it's not enough.
Rich and Bob simultaneously pull on Carol violently. Rich pulls Carol with a force of 528 newtons at east 11 degrees north. Bob pulls on Carol with a force of 398 newtons at north 98 degrees west. Carol, who fights her tormentors, pulls against him with a force of 318 newtons at south 44 degrees east. At what magnitude and direction does Carol fall with these forces?
For the x direction, you get 520 cosine 11 plus 398 cosine 188 plus 318 cosine 314, which rounds out to about 337.22. For the y direction, it's 520 sine 11 plus 398 sine 188 plus 318 sine 314, which rounds out to about negative 184.92. You use the Pythagorean theorem, radical x squared plus y squared, and you get 384.6 newtons. For the direction, you take the tangent inverse of y over x, and ultimately you end up with east 29 degrees south. Sorry.
Carol, you left them all. Oh. Sorry. Anyways, I need to go use the restroom. I'll see you later.
Who's coming?
Hello? What? You're lost? Where are you? Okay, fine. We'll come get you.
Sam has a sudden urge to go use the restroom. She runs at a constant rate of 5 feet per second for 19 seconds at a bearing of north 50 degrees west from Cheesecake Factory point A to a shop point B. Discovering that the shop didn't have a restroom, Sam again runs at a constant rate of 5 feet per second from the shop to the carousel point C for 32 seconds at a bearing of west 37 degrees south. Sam finds a restroom in the area but gets lost. A. Find the bearing from point A to point C. B. Find the distance from point A to point C. Now, let's look at the picture. Measure angle of BAD is equal to 50. Therefore, measure of the angle ABD is equal to 180 minus the quantity 50 plus 90, which results in 40 degrees. For a measure angle CBF, which is equal to 37 degrees, therefore, measure angle CBF plus measure of angle ABD is equal to 77 degrees. 180 minus 77 degrees is equal to 103, which is equal to the measure of angle CBA. Line AB is equal to 5 times 19, which is equal to 95 feet. Line BC is 5 times 32, which is equal to 160. In order to solve part A, we must first solve part B. And to solve part B, we use the law of cosine, which is B is equal to the square root of the quantity A squared plus C squared minus 2AC times cosine B. Plug in the values and solve. Ultimately, we end up with 203.6 feet. Now, to solve part A, we use the law of cosine A is equal to the quantity B squared plus C squared minus A squared all over 2BC. To plug in the values, we end up with cosine A is equal to 203.6 squared plus 95 squared minus 160 squared, all over 2 times the quantity 203.6 times 95. Take the cosine inverse of both sides, and eventually we end up with A is equal to 49.91, which we round to about 50 degrees. 90 plus 50 is equal to 190 degrees. 190 minus 180 is 10 degrees, and we end up with a bearing of west 10 degrees south.
Then your friends of Carol, then where's Carol?
She's behind us. Girl, what's your sign? You must be pi over 2 because you're the 1. If I was sine squared and you were cosine squared, together we would be 1.
Overwhelmed with pressure, Carol pushes off from the top of a rail 21 feet above the first floor. A 3 feet tall flower pot sits on the first floor, approximately 1 foot away from the second floor. A. If Carol jumps with an initial velocity of 2 feet per second at an angle of 40 degrees, does she crash into the flower pot or does she crash onto the floor? B. At what time does Carol crash? Okay, so you start off with Carol's path of falling, and that can be represented by the parametric equation y equals 1/2 gt squared plus v naught sine theta plus y naught, and x equals v naught cosine theta t. And if the initial velocity is 2, angle is 40, initial position is 21, and the gravity is negative 32, and you plug the values into the equation, then you get y equals to negative 16t squared plus 2 sine 40t plus 21, and x equals 2 cosine 40t. The position of a flower pot can be represented by y equals 3 times t over 2, and x equals 1. And if you graph it on a graphing calculator, you have to set your window as t min equals 0, t max equals 2, y min equals 0, y min equals to 0, y max equals 25, x min equals 0, x max equals 5. So to find what time does Carol crashes on the floor, you use the equation y equals negative 16t squared plus 2 sine 40t plus 21. And set the y equals 0, and you get 0 equals negative 16t squared plus 1.3t plus 21. And you solve the equation by using a quadratic formula, and you plug the values in and solve, and you get 2 values, one negative and one positive, and the time cannot be negative. So you take the positive values, 1.1865, and you round it to the nearest tenth, and you get 1.2 seconds.
Oh man, Carol died. I know.
I have nothing to do right now.
Hey Bob, check it out.